I've seen Will Smith act like that, so I can buy that. But I've never seen somebody as professional as Chris Rock look like they completely broke, like they were a 7-year-old kid.
Yeah.
He looked he looked like, I mean, I got my ass beat all kinds when I was in school. He was like, I just got the shit kicked, and he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And boy, did he come back quick. Good for him.
Yeah.
You know, he and then I think there was one clip that really zoomed in. One guy posted something on TikTok, and it zoomed in on Chris Rock, and he goes, "Watch what he says, what he whispers," and he goes, "Man, I could," and he just shuts up. He stops himself, and I believe wholeheartedly Chris Rock could have gone on an absolute bliss of some of the most hilarious shit you've ever heard, because it's all sitting right. I mean, it's a carnival, and the guy is a comedian.
Yeah.
He could roast the shit out of them for minutes, and it would have been, I would have loved it.
And even the producers of the show were like, "What's going on?" Like they say that he saved the show, because he could have just stopped. He could have just walked off the stage. He could have walked down and punched him back. Like it could have been anything else, and he followed through. So it's funny because this whole story becomes this like what it means to be a man. Like defending your wife is being a man. Punching someone out is being a man. Taking a punch is being a man. Moving on, there's all these debates of what is actually it. And I think for me, there's a couple things, but the night got worse for Will. If you go to these events, think about this. The slap was bad, right? It was bad, especially when you watch it again, but it was quick. Then there's the screaming from his chair, which was worse. Like yelling at the top of his lungs. Like he wasn't just saying, "Keep my wife's name." It was your mouth.
Yeah, he lost control.
So that was worse. Then his speech was worse than that. His speech was awful. And then worse than that was he was out partying, rapping to his own songs, which suck. But he was out literally rapping to his own songs. After all this happened, you're partying and rapping. That was weird. And then a full day later, he apologizes to Chris Rock. Right. And that was just a PR bullshit scam thing. Because did you notice during his speech, he didn't even mention his wife or thank his wife?
I think he's riding on adrenaline at that point.
His persona just went downhill. The thing is, they knew. It's so weird because he didn't just have the potential to win an award right after this and give a speech. He was the only award winner that night that was basically a shoo-in. Mm-hmm. Like the betting lines, there was no chance he wasn't winning. Yeah. Right? Like best picture, it could have been Coda, it could have been part of it. Like he just didn't know. So it was weird. So he slaps a guy out, and then this guy is assuredly going to be on the stage. Yeah. If it was Bradley Cooper was never going to leave his chair after that. So even if you asked him to leave, it was done. So it created this moment of, holy shit, what happened? And then it was like, tick, tick, tick. This guy's got to go up on stage. He's going to have to do a speech now. Yeah. So it was like the perfect storm.
I loved his acting. I watched Fresh Prince live every day. Yeah. Every day that the show aired. I was bumping Big Willie style on a cassette tape in a 1990 Toyota style. I was just the biggest Will Smith fan. And lately, it seems like a lot of it's been TikTok and he's making these videos and shit, and he's just kind of lost. He looks like a lost.
He almost went backwards, kind of like J-Lo did for a bit, and then got reaffirmed again.
Yeah, so he comes to this thing, and since the Jada Red Table shit with the fucking guy and whatever, none of my business. Honestly, I could care less about that. But you look embarrassed. Your wife emasculated you. Completely and utterly, you have been emasculated. She's telling the world she feels better with another dude. And you're like, it's okay, honey. We're together in our bad marriage.
Pain.
It's embarrassing for him, all that stuff. And we talked a little bit about, when you get into bullying, the bully has always been bullied by somebody. The bully has always had something happen in their life where they were treated like absolute shit, and so their shit rolls downhill. They're coming and they're treating somebody else like shit. Yeah. And at what point, do you say, stop? Like, I understand you're going through this shit at home. I understand that you're dealing with this, but you don't need to bring that into this situation. And I just felt like it was like gross. It was really disgusting, the whole thing, the physical slap and all that stuff. But more than all of that is the reaction of support that he had for physically accosting somebody on a stage, like bullying to the nth degree. That was the biggest bully fucking move that I've ever seen publicly on national television between two people that I think, are stars. I think Chris Rock is a huge star. And to be treated like that in public was just like, are we going there? Are we back at that stage in our society? Because if we are, I know a lot of people who are down. I know a lot of people that walk around smacking the shit out of people, and that's okay. But do we really want to go back there?
Well, it was a guy smaller than him, so it wasn't The Rock or Jason Momoa.
Would he smack Chappelle like that?
She made a joke, I don't know if you know this, earlier in the Oscars that was way more offensive, that also showed how whipped he is and all that stuff. There was a joke she made about, hey, I got to do some COVID tests, random tests. So I'm going to need Bradley Cooper. And she started calling out very hot guys to the stage. And the joke was pretty intense. It was funny about how, essentially, let's go backstage so I can grope you guys and call it a COVID test. So the whole thing is she's randomly selecting people. And then she says, Javier Bardem, oh, I can't pick you because you're married to Penelope Cruz, so you're not on the list. Will Smith, okay, you guys are married, but you're on the list, actually. Essentially brought up the whole open marriage thing, and Will was like, he wouldn't even go up on the stage to play along with this little joke. He was like, no, I'm not even, no. And like, she's laughing along, and everyone knows it's the open marriage.
Jada's laughing at that.
She's laughing.
See, that's funny to her.
Yeah.
Right? And that, in my opinion.
He couldn't even get up. And I'm watching him like, dude, just go on stage, and then you go back. He wouldn't even do that. And so the arrogance of that couple to feel like they sat in that front row so people could kiss their finger was weird. So that was more offensive, to be honest with you. And that was earlier on in the show. So, but you're right. It's like the condoning of this type of thing.
I had a guy working for me one time, and he's the nicest guy in the world. Well, all growing up, my name is extremely similar to another word, and it's not a nice word. And I'm not even going to say it because it's not polite. But I was called that for years.
Yeah.
Extremely damaging. Really? Oh, yeah. All through. It started in 4th grade. A 6th grader came up and said that to me, and I was clueless. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Yeah. So I came up with kind of jokes to retort, and I got in a bunch of fights and all this stuff. Yeah. And I had a guy working for me just like 2 years ago, and he comes up and he shows me a picture of a birthday cake, and it says the word on it, and he goes, I'll never name my son Clint. And he shows me the picture laughing.
Yeah.
And he has no clue about my relative experience in my life. When people say shit, they think it's the first time you've heard it. Always. Some people are funnier than others because they have new material. But other people, they just say dumb things. Like you said, hey, we're good. Yeah. They think it's the first time in your whole life you've heard that. You're like, top of the hat, buddy. Good for you. I was pissed. As angry and as pissed as I've been in a long time, because he's my subordinate. You're supposed to be listening to me, and you're disrespecting me, and blah, blah, blah. And I got pissed off, and I told him, I was like, don't ever fucking say that to me. Get the fuck out of here. Don't be near me. Just get the fuck out of here. And after the fact, I still felt like an idiot, because how does he know that that's sensitive to me? How does he know what's funny and what's not to me? It's not, I'm not here to make everybody feel uncomfortable because you need to know what I'm going through in my world. Yeah. And that's the point of a comedian is to get up there, they get paid to entertain the majority.
Especially the front row.
Oh my God.
You know if you're there, you're going to get picked up.
And you know it.
And you have to just take it.
You said it. Like, no one's there to kiss his pinky. Like,
Yeah.
and it to be so audaciously fucking righteous, whatever it is, to be so into yourself that you think everybody should. Oh, it's funny to talk about other people. It's funny to talk about this person.
Yeah, but not me.
I'll laugh. Oh, even I'll laugh at this joke about our relationship, but that's not funny. So, stop. All right, guys, thanks so much. Mike, once again, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, and,
chilling with us.
Nothing else happened this week but that story.
I'm pretty sure life didn't. I'm pretty sure my truck didn't get stolen either.
Well, that's a whole other episode.
That's all. But you know what? Shout out to the OPP, the Ontario Provincial Police Department. They're really awesome. They're on the case, and they're gonna figure out what happened to my truck. But yeah, man, it's crazy when stuff like that happens, and it feels like it takes over the world, and it's so not important. So Will, get some help. Chris, you're a fucking champ, buddy. On that note, like, subscribe, follow, camera. We're doing this shit now.